now Nu Skin goes, you're a brand representative, so now we will start to pay you on top of your retail profits and sharing bonuses. We will pay you a commission off of all of the volume that you do. Okay, so here you are, you have your circle group. In your circle group, you're creating volume, right? Volume comes from the sale of products. That's what it comes from. So if you go out and I personally am doing my volume from my personal business and I have my customers, and in my customers, let's say I'm doing toothpaste, and I'm doing Tanner, and I'm doing Lumi Spa, and I'm doing Renew Spa, and you heard Shelly talking about the collagen. Okay, did you guys understand what she was talking about? There were 4 products she was talking about. She could not say the names of them because they got weird rules over here with the scientists, but it was basically New Biome, New Ease, ProBio, what's the other one? And Meta. Okay? Anthocyanins, that was Meta. Okay? Probios, that was the ProBio. You guys get that, what she was saying, what she was talking about? She was talking about 4 of our top gut health products. Right? Awesome science on that. Now you just got to go and say, oh, that's the one she was talking about. Now I'm like really interested. Before I'm like, she's just talking a lot of science. Right? She's super smart. Right? That's why she's a doctor, right? That's why she does. But here's the deal. Okay? Those are the products that we're using to create this volume, to create customers and create members. Okay? Then we have brand affiliates. So we're signing people up that want to do this business with us. And then we're also helping people go through the qualification themselves. That consists of our circle group. This is what creates our volume. Now, you guys, talk with your uplines and they will tell you how you guys are duplicating. But I'm just going to give you a broad overall picture of this, all right? And an easy example of how this looks, okay? Now here's how it goes. Here you are, you're going out, and you have your customers, your members, you're sharing, you're signing people up in the business. But here's what happens. You now get a retail profit, and you earn 5 to 40% of all of the volume you do in your circle group. And this is where it starts to get fun. And you get a 5% leading bonus. That's the back end. Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about, okay? Here you are, and you're going out. Now, let's say I start the business, and I buy a Renew Spa. We're going to talk easy math, right? How much volume is in a Renew Spa? 250 points, okay? So $299, we get 250 points in volume, okay? So if I go out, and I buy one for myself, because I love the Renew Spa, and then maybe I get some collagen and some other stuff, and then all of a sudden, now I'm at 500 points myself. And I go out and I say, find 2 of my friends to go out and each get a Renew Spot. Now I'm at 1,000 points. Or simple duplication, 1 for me, 3 to sell. You guys get that? And now I'm at 1,000 points in volume. And I go out and I start building a business, right? And duplicating. And let's say during this time, I go help 4 people become brand rep this month. What do they need to do to become a brand rep? 5,000 points. What's 4 times 5,000? 20,000 plus my 1,000, I'm sitting at 2,100 or 21,000, right? If I go out and find it. You guys see that? So you're going to start getting paid in that 40% range. Okay, we get these building blocks of 500 is how it goes up every single month. So if I go out, and this is what it looks like, if I go out and I start creating volume, once I get past 8,000, all of a sudden I'm getting 40% of that volume. How awesome is that? So every time I do a 500-point block, the company's paying me $200. That's 40%. So if I go out and I create 4 brand reps in 1 month, that's 20,000 points. That's $7,000 commission check by helping 4 people do what I've done. How awesome is that? Is that good? Who can use an extra 7,000? Right? Okay, just by helping 4 people. I create 20,000 points in volume, the company gives me back 40%. How amazing is that? Right? That's how it works. That's the middle portion of the compensation plan. They're paying us for our volume. The fastest way to create volume is help others get to brand rep. You guys, you need to understand this. How hard is it for me to sell 20,000 points myself? That's a lot. That's a lot of toothpaste and a lot of Tanner and a lot of firming cream and a lot of Renew Spas. But I have a circle group and I have an influence that I can go out and I can create a circle of circle group volume for myself, there's probably like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 points, right? And then if I go help 4 other get to that brand rep, that's over 20,000 points in volume. Is that, you guys understand that? Okay, so that's how it works. So here we are, we're gonna go through an example because now we're leading into the leading portion of the compensation plan. So here you are, and you have your business, you have your circle group, right? And inside of your circle group, you are now signing people up, you're sharing the product. And I signed Sally up. And Sally joins the business. And Sally does her 1,000 points. She buys a Renew Spa, and she buys 3 more to go sell. So she's instantly at 1,000 points. And what is that called? An LOI. So now Sally is at her LOI, letter of intent. She basically, what LOI means, it's an acronym for letter of intent. In the old days, when I first signed up, we literally had to write a letter and sign this letter that says, I've done 1,000 points in volume. I intend to now become a brand representative. That put the company on notice. So now you just go into the computer. Once you do 1,000 points, you click LOI, and it sends the company. So now they start tracking your volume. In the old days, we literally had to do a letter. No joke, when I first came in, right? But now it's like on the computer, you click LOI, boom. Now the company goes, oh, she's on our radar. We got to track her volume because she's wanting to become a brand rep. She's done 1,000 points. Now we're going to get her to, we're going to watch her. She goes to 5,000. What's the easiest way for Sally to get to 5,000 points? We just said it. Help others, right? That's the word we want to use, help others. And so she goes out and she finds 4 people to do this with her. And what do those 4 people do? You want to help them get where? LOI. That's the best way. And all of a sudden, they go out and get to LOI by what? Maybe each of them buy a Renew Spa and 3 to sell. And they go out and they do some demos and they're selling, or whether you're doing social media campaigns and you're doing it that way. You guys, it doesn't matter, right? Whatever you're doing, online, offline, the point is you're creating volume, right? So however you're doing it, you're creating volume. So now all of a sudden, Sally's at, and let's say some of those people start to recruit, and all of a sudden Sally's at hits her 5,000 points, okay? Now I was earning 5 to 40% on everything Sally was doing up until she did her own 5,000 points. And once Sally hits her own 5,000 points, what's the benefit of that now? She now gets to go become a brand rep and start earning commission herself. So she leaves my circle group, and she now has her own circle group. And so now you're still doing your sharing, you're getting a retail profit, you're building, you're making your 5 to 40%. Everything in your circle group is your number 1, helping customers, number 2, getting members, number 3, signing up brand affiliates, and 4, you have people going to brand rep, right? And so you become a gold because you have 1 brand rep now. And guess what happens? Now you get 5% on everything Sally does. Wait a second, Patrick, hold on. You just said I was making 5 to 40% and now I'm only making 5? Well, yeah, but here's where it gets magical. You want to duplicate this. Do you want to keep Sally in your circle group so she can never make money? No. Why? Why would you want to do that, right? You want Sally to be successful. And so now is where this leading portion gets fun. Because my goal now is to go out and create as many brand reps as possible, because I would rather have 5% of 100 people than 5 to 40% of my own. You guys understand that? It's like, give me 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own any single day. You guys got, like, that is a concept that is like leverage. That is where leverage, you hear people talking about leverage, you hear these guys that like set themselves up, they walked away and they built their business and it keeps bringing in volume every single month. It's because they've created brand reps. So the company says, we will pay you 5% on every single brand rep that you create. And you want to create as many brand reps as possible and duplicate to the point you become irrelevant, where your downline has no idea who you are. When you're sitting in a meeting and they're sitting next to you and they say, oh my gosh, you're my upline. I didn't even know you. Right? That's how fun it gets, right? And that's how it works. Okay, wide for show, deep for dough. This is the back portion of our compensation plan. This is how it works. So once again, you need to know all this? No, but you need to know where you are and where you're going. So if you're brand new, LOI is the first level, where you want to go. Then you want to get to brand rep. And then you want to duplicate. And you want to create more brand reps. Does that make sense? Okay, so now you're duplicating. You're at the front and the middle portion of the compensation plan, and now you're starting to create brand reps, right? This is where it gets fun. Are you guys excited about this? Okay, because I couldn't sleep the first time I saw this. I literally stayed up all night going, how do I get to that far side? And it's right here, okay? So we have generations. This is the matrix of our compensation plan right here. There are generations 1 through 6. As you start to create brand reps, our company pays us 6 generations deep. We get paid infinitely on anything in our circle group, but as people break away, we get paid 6 generations deep, okay? So here's how it works. I go up and I sign up Sally. And Sally joins the business. She becomes a brand rep. And so I get paid on Sally. I get paid her 5%. We start to help Sally duplicate. Sally starts to sign people up. And what happens is all of a sudden now there's brand reps that are starting to go on my 2nd and 3rd generation. But I only have 1 brand rep. So I only get paid 1 generation deep. But now there's brand reps on the 2nd level. How do I get paid on them? Well, I have to go create a new brand rep. So I go out and sign up Heather. And so I have Sally and I have Heather going, and now I get paid 2 generations deep. So Sally and Heather are both building the business, and they're starting to duplicate, and there's people on my 2nd generation, and we're helping them duplicate. And now all of a sudden there's people down on my 3rd generation. And I'm only getting paid on 2 because I only have Sally and Heather. So I go out, and to get paid on my 3rd generation deep of brand reps, to get 5% on, maybe there's 15 brand reps down there now. Because Heather's cranking, Sally's cranking, and so they're starting to grow. And all of a sudden, there's 15 brand reps on my 3rd level. I have to go find 2 more, so I need to become a Ruby and have 4 brand reps. So I go out and sign up 2 more. And I have Sally, and I have Heather, and then I have Christina. And I have another one, and they're starting to crank, and they're starting to grow. And what happens is all of a sudden it's like a bag of popcorn. Have you ever seen a bag of popcorn pop? And it just starts to go pop, 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 and it fills up, right? Well, now all of a sudden the compensation plan starts to grow because you have people working the business. And I have people on my 4th generation. So how do I get paid on the 4 generations? Well, by now Sally has been cranking. I've taught her how to do the business. I've done it with her. I've showed her what to do. And now she's going out. She's just doing it on her own. She's, thank you very much, Patrick. I got this. And she's driving legs deep. And she wants to become a Ruby. She wants to become an Emerald. So she's creating teams. And all of a sudden, there's people on my 4th level. But guess what? Sally's at 10,000 points. Because by this time, I've helped her get to 10,000 points. So I instantly go from Ruby to Emerald, because if you want to be an Emerald and get paid 4 levels deep, you have to have 4 legs and one of them doing 10,000 points. And because I did it correctly, the minute I became Ruby, I also became an Emerald because I drove Sally. Sally was creating volume. Does that make sense? So I have 4 legs, one doing 10,000 points of those 4 legs. Not everyone, just one of my legs doing 10,000 points, and now I get paid 4 generations. Well, Sally, and now I got Heather. Heather's just cranking. So now all of a sudden there's people down on my 5th level. By this time, Sally's like a diamond herself, and she's moving, Heather's cranking. And so what do I need to do to become a diamond and get paid 5 levels deep? I have to have 1 leg that's doing 20, but by now Sally's doing 20, and Heather's cranking, and she's doing 10. And I have 3 others, Christina and 2 others, that are all maintaining and driving and building their business, so now I get paid 5 generations. Well, by now, Sally's just exploding. And so there's people all the way down on my 6th, and there's people in there, there's other leaders now popping up. And so there's people on my 6th generation. Well, how do I get paid on all 6 generations? Well, I got to become a blue diamond. Meaning I got to have 6 people, 1 doing 30, Sally's doing 30, Heather's doing 20, Christina's now doing 10. And I have 3 others that are doing their deal, might be socially selling, just sitting there at brand rep. But now I maximize the compensation plan, and I get paid all 6 generations deep. Now you may be looking at this going, holy smokes, this is a lot. Don't worry, you'll know it as you go. And when you're leaving money on the table because you're not wide enough, you'll know right away what you need to do, okay? So you guys understand that? And then there's a team elite leg, which means you have a 40, a 30, a 20, and a 10. And now you're getting paid an extra 5% on 1 year on anything in the future. So you actually get paid 10 to 15% on any new legs. How cool is that? So here's what's cool. So if I'm going out and I'm creating a business and I have 100,000 points in my business in this matrix right here, 100,000 points, and I get 5% of that, means I'm $5,000 a month in commission, just off this back end. Plus the 5 to 40% on my circle group, plus any retail profit that I'm making. So I'm getting paid 3 ways. And I get paid on my entire organization. Let's say my business, and I've duplicated to where I have 50 brand reps in my organization, and every single one of them is doing 5,000 points average. Right? Some are doing 3, some are doing 8, so it averages to 5,000. Okay? How much volume is that? What's 50 times 5,000? Gotta know the math. 250,000 at 5%. Right? Actually, that's 500,000. Okay? At 5%. Do you guys are you seeing that? How this works? For every 100,000, you get $5,000. 5%, right? So if I'm doing 500,000, now I'm making 25,000 just off the back end. And that's when you see these numbers. And you see, why does the average Blue Diamond make 40,000? Because they have 800,000 points in volume. Because they've created a bunch of brand reps. Does that make sense? And so that's all it is, you guys. It's just numbers, and it's just duplication, and it's just helping your friends. How'd you say it, Heather? You're helping people get to brand rep. That's what you're doing, and that's what we're doing. So when I look at this, you guys, where do you want to be? The company will pay you on the front, the middle, and the back. They're going to pay you retail profit if you want to just go sell products. They're going to pay you a building bonus to help you duplicate and build brand reps. And then what they'll do is pay you on your entire organization once you've built it. Right? And that's how you see these average earnings come in. Does that make sense? Okay, so once again, let's recap. Do you need to know where you are? No. You just have to know what your next step is. So if you're brand new in the business, what's your first step? LOI. If you're an LOI, what's your next step? Brand rep. Brand rep, what's your next step? Duplicate. Right? Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate to the point you become irrelevant. And then it's like building a family. You help them get to brand rep, and you teach them how to do it. And then what happens? Eventually, they're doing it on their own. It's like you just say, all right, thank you. And you kick them out of the nest, right? And they're going out and they're cranking. They say, thank you very much, Patrick. I got this, and let's roll. And they go out and they're creating the business for their reasons and for themselves. You guys understand that?